What's going on, guys? I am Matthias and welcome back to Reading Your Comments. Today we're reading all of your most embarrassing stories that happened to you in class. Okay, so I'm about to embarrass you yet again in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Yay! And a question of the day for a future episode is, when was the last time you got caught doing something you shouldn't have been doing? And I'm not talking about pervy stuff. There might be some pervy stuff in there, but still, try not to be a perv, okay? Word it eloquently, please. Also, make sure you go check out my vlog channel where I daily vlog with Amanda Faye. Go click that right there, and you'll see me daily. Haha, sucker. So I was in class and I was having my performance task. It was a speech. And then I got so nervous, I farted. Ugh. Everyone was laughing at me and then I got an F for that. Thankfully, my teacher made me do it again alone. Since he had said I might embarrass myself again, I wish I can go back in time and stop that from happening. So you farted in public and your teacher thought you were being just a jerk and failed you because you farted in your speech? Man, that's a tough break. Embarrassed and failed. It was the third day of prep and we were all sitting at our desk. My stomach was feeling weird and then all of a sudden I did a fart. The chairs we were sitting were on plastic, so the sound went all around the classroom. I blamed the fart on the kid sitting next to me. Oh yeah.
You've never done that before? Or to blame somebody else?
I've never done it like in class. So in class, we were taking a test and I dropped my pencil. So I bend over to pick it up and let a loud one rip. Oh, big shock, guys, big shock. So everyone looks at me and I try to play it off cool by whispering to my friend, was that you? And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure it was you. Let's just say she still makes fun of me for that. I was in school's award ceremony. I was the only one without an award. So embarrassed. People were staring at me. I hate awkward ceremonies. Okay, so I was in class and I needed to fart and sneeze at the same time. So when I sneezed, I farted and the teacher asked if I need to go to the bathroom and everyone was laughing. I think the most embarrassing thing that happens to most of these people is that they fart, which can be pretty embarrassing if you're, you know, significant other or what do you call it? Crush. I forget. I'm so old now. I forget what that word is. What's a crush? I'm just kidding. Amanda's my crush all the time. Shut up. Don't tell her. I was in my math class and all of us were working. Everything was quiet. I didn't eat anything that morning and I'm a bit gassy. I tried moving my chair to make that squeaking sound to camouflage my fart, and then suddenly my stomach demonstrated how a whale's mating call is. All of them looked at me and my best friend started laughing. I should have eaten this morning. FML. We were talking about marine life and science, so I got called up to go to the board to read stuff. I tripped and I fell on the table in front of me and I was just laying there, face planted on the table, and I could have sworn someone said beached whale, so everyone started laughing their butts off. That's actually a pretty good one though, beached whale. This one time in class, I drew a picture of me and my crush and I dropped it on the way out of the classroom. My crush found it and at the playtime, he came to give it to me, and at the exact same time he heard my other friend ask me to be his girlfriend. I'm really embarrassed every time I see them now. My most embarrassing moment in class was in 3rd grade. I had to pee really bad. So I asked my teacher if I could go to the bathroom and she said no. Then after a few minutes of waiting to ask again, I had to sneeze. I ended up sneezing and peeing my pants. Then I looked at the teacher and said, I told you I had to go, and ran to the office for a new pair of pants. Wait, schools just have like clothes now that you could just like borrow?
Probably happens so many times that you
just happens all the time. So one time before school started, I fell over on wet grass and got mud all up the back of my skirt. You can imagine what people were saying and asking all morning. Oh, mud skirt. Oh, yeah. In pre-K, I popped my pants. I think they meant pooped. To pop one's pants. I used to go with my mom to her job at preschool. One day it was getting pretty hot and didn't really realize she started singing and said, it's getting hot in here. And I said, so take off all your clothes. So in my class, my friend wanted me to lick a Sharpie. I licked it and it leaked right in my mouth. Everyone was laughing, even my crush. It was in 7th grade and I had a roller backpack at the time, which wasn't a good idea. And I was getting up for something and then I just tripped over my dang backpack and then fell on my back, which didn't hurt for some reason. And what was even worse, it It was in front of my crush. So, for some reason, in the 7th grade, I had the best idea of emailing my social studies teacher about giving us too much homework. If this wasn't dumb enough, I put at the end that I will start a revolution and revolt. Not only that, but my teacher hates me in the first place. The next day in school was so awkward just looking at her. Then the assistant principal came into the room and took me out and got me suspended for a day and get ISS for a day. My parents didn't care because they thought it was the dumbest reason to get suspended. We will revolt! No more homework! When I was asking a question to my teacher, instead of calling my teacher Mrs. Decina, I called her mom. She said, "Did you just call me mom?" In my class, my friend dared me to ask my teacher where he gets his clothes from. I don't think I need to explain how that ended. I was kept behind for 25 minutes. Yay. When I was in class, I saw my twin brother kissing my girlfriend. I punched my brother after that. One time in world studies, we were doing some writing assignment and I was very tired. So I started to fall asleep and my face slammed on the desk and it was loud. Somehow I played it off well. I don't know, you probably had like a big giant red mark and people were just staring at you. My most embarrassing moment in class was when I tried to be cool when talking to my friend, which is a dude, and I tried to back away, but my foot caught on his desk and I ended up falling, and so I just sat there with my arms crossed acting like nothing happened, saying I meant to do that word, and then everyone laughed at me because even my crush laughed at me. My most embarrassing thing at school was when I lost my voice and tried to talk and I sounded like a dying donkey. How you doing, teacher? I've had my voice crack in class many times. I think everyone's had their voice crack. You know, when you're like, the answer is chicken, and you're like, Mine is when I was daydreaming in class. My teacher asked me the answer. I just sat there with a bunch of emojis. One time in class, I had to sneeze and made a funny face, and it didn't help that I got boogers all over my shirt and desk. Oh. During class, the person behind me threw up on my back. Luckily, the front office had a shirt and I was able to borrow it. Ew, threw up on her. Someone else's throw up. In class, I wrote a note that said, "Will you go out with me?" and pass it to my best friend. I told him to give it to my crush. He thought it would be funny to give it to the wrong girl. I was once watching a movie in class and I sneezed, and before I knew it, there was snot all over my face on the person in front of me, and then I had to leave to go to the bathroom and everyone was staring. So our class was walking in the hall, coming back from gym, and I decided to jump and touch the top of the door frame, except my crush was walking out of the class when I landed so that her face ended up in my armpit. We parted ways very awkwardly. Just how's that? You like that armpit, baby? I was late to class and I walked in the class and said, "Hey, what did I miss?" And the bad thing was the class was doing silent reading and everyone was just staring at me. Don't you hate that when you walk in late and the class is just like silent and everyone's just like... One time in class, I was itching my nose and the teacher saw me and said, "Go get a tissue." She thought I was picking my nose. Everyone stared at me. I still got the tissue though. I said my teacher's first name in class. He never looked at me the same again. My friend was taking a selfie in class, so I turned around to be in the pic. Well, I fell off my chair and my friend caught it on video. So it wasn't a selfie, it was video. Whoops. I farted in class and my teacher asked, "Who did it?" I said it was me, but she was asking who was asking a question. Let's just say my bullying increased. So she was like, "Who did it?" And you're like, "I farted." And she's like, "No, I was asking who did the answer." And you're like, "I guess I still farted though." Ratted yourself out, yikes. Guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you check out the last reading your comments right there and go subscribe to Matt and Amanda, our vlog channel, because we do daily vlogs. Also, my wife is like a month away from giving birth to my first child.
Sound like Arnold, my first child.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought you meant Arnold Telegaarta. And I was like, he doesn't talk like that. High five.